Looking at some of the activity here, they did definitely move the Starship from between the chopsticks to in front and to the left of the chopsticks. So they moved the chopsticks out of the way here at the main gate, and I'm just getting set up right now, getting situated. The road closure has ended. I don't know how much it was of a road closure, but I am back here on site. I'm gonna get my umbrella. I'll be back in a minute. I'm gonna move the tripod over here a little bit. That's better. That's better. So just starting out my day here. I was down here on site earlier today. Get in front of the camera. Hey, stomping zebra. Nice. Zoom out. I'm zoomed out. Okay. Good stuff. Tightened everything. All right. Get in front of the camera. All right. A lot of stuff going on. I had breakfast this morning with two individuals, three guys, viewers of the channel. So I want to say hi and thanks for this morning. Great brunch we had. I was down here earlier this morning setting up the remote camera, and I got the Nikon P1000 is working again. So I had it set up briefly. It looked like it lost reception. So I'm going to go later today and see if I can get that Nikon going again. There was some type of power issue with the connector from the earlier over the weekend, last couple days. There was some issue with the power cord. I isolated it to that, and I attached another power cord to the Nikon. So the Nikon camera is working again, and I just got to go do the uplink and see what happened, why it cut off. So I had breakfast with three guys this morning, and I want to say thanks that was awesome. And maybe in the future, like you said, maybe we can meet up again. Bill and Al and the third gentleman, I didn't get his name, but it was a good fun time. I'm wearing the hat. This is Jack at Makerspace X gave me this hat, and this is a lot of people tell me, yeah, you should wear a hat because you don't want to get cancer on your face, so skin cancer. So I'm wearing a hat today. I got red briefly due to not eating the best types of food, and I haven't been eating any protein shakes or anything. So I went shopping this morning. Well, around noon, I went shopping and I bought some protein mix, raw Garden of Life protein mix, and I did an egg smoothie with some of that protein mix. So I'm going to start. Now I have a little cash that people have donated. I bought some healthier foods. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. And so what we're looking at here is the Starship 20, and they have taken it from between the chopsticks. And again, we see the booster 4 behind it. And I just kind of got here on site. The road closure, I guess today has been canceled, or maybe it didn't happen. I'm not sure. I'll check out the chat here briefly in a moment. And I want to say thank you to Mike Mason for the shirts. Again, I'll do it on camera here. He sent me a SpaceX jacket. He about a bunch of t-shirts and pants and some other things as well. Really, really nice stuff. Thanks, Mike Mason, everybody. And Bill West, thank you so much as well. And Michael Peters and everybody. A lot of people have contributed to the channel, supporting the channel. And today I went and I got some brakes for my truck. I bought a new set of brakes, so I'll get that installed in the next couple of weeks. I was hearing some squeaking in the brakes, so it's maybe I've caught up and I'm back in a good condition here with food, with gas, people watching the channel again. I've kind of gotten back into the swing of things, and the help that I've received, you guys have helped me quite a bit. So I think it's going in the right direction. Check out what's going on here on the side here. All right, Stomping Zebra, Javier, nice. Doing all right, doing all right. I had a good drink today, Javier. The Real YT, everybody, yep. Hello, hello. Tony, nice. Road closure was canceled. Oh, okay, Tony, okay, everybody, road closure was canceled. Good stuff. I didn't see it about an hour ago. I looked, I didn't see any changes to the road closure website, but that's cool. Good stuff. Hey, Bill, nice. William, awesome. Nice stripy shirt. Yeah, this is due to Mike Mason. He sent me 3-4 shirts, a jacket, and some other things. Very, very awesome stuff. All right, I'll get into the swing of things here. Let me see what's going on. Moonduster is the guy I met with today, this morning. Moonduster, everybody. And Al as well. So this is, yeah, Javier, thanks. So it's pretty vacant here. I don't see much activity here. There appears to be a lift either on the Starship 20 there on the right, or maybe that's going to the orbital launch platform. Oh yeah, there are 2 lifts in the front, but I'm looking at the orange lift in the back there of the. I'll zoom in to that area. See if I can tilt this down a little bit. There are 2 lifts in the front there working on the connectors where the fuel and everything would connect. Behind those lights, there's some lights at the base of the Starship there, just in front of the, before we get into the Starship, there's just portable lights. But behind, on the actual Starship, they're at the fuel lines over there with those lifts there. And up to the right of the Starship, there's an orange lift on the right where it looks like they're doing some work. Maybe on the orbital launch platform. I'd have to get a different view to see where they're doing work over there. The wind is gusting a little bit, and what I'd heard, just a reminder, what I'd heard is that they had taken the Starship off of the booster because they had some concerns about the weather. If the weather got rougher and more windy, that they wanted to have the Starship on the ground. Is through the chat here is what I'd heard. So maybe we'll be getting some worse weather coming in. I'm not sure. Relatively very blue skies, but relatively peaceful and calm here. Not ordinarily like this. Normally there's like a truck or a vehicle going by every 10-15 seconds. So I think maybe the people are just getting back. I'm not sure when the road closure was canceled, but many open parking spaces. Today is a Tuesday, so it is kind of the center of the day. It's not like, but if anyone knows when that road closure was canceled, and you're listening to this live, then share it here in the chat. Let us know what the deal was. This is kind of daily during the week coverage. I do daily coverage during the week of the activities here, specifically at the SpaceX launch site. And I do some other stuff on the side, some other coverage of other space companies, and also of the Ocean Camera Space Corp goal of taking video of the oceans on the other moons and planets in the solar system, and eventually also to harvest that water. So the mission is to keep improving what we're doing to the point where we can do remote video photography on the moons and planets in the solar system where we know there's oceans of liquid water, like on Enceladus, Europa, Ganymede. Many of these moons have more water than the Earth beneath the ice. They have an icy surface. A lot of them apparently don't have an atmosphere, but they do have an icy surface. So the goal here at Ocean Camera Space Corp is to help space companies do that video photography, or to do it ourselves. Right? To change the history books, to change the story of humanity. How you doing? Good. You want to be on camera, just go ahead.
Oh, that's okay. I'm just going to get a couple pictures.
You want to be on camera?
Huh?
Say what you're doing here and everything. I give you the mic.
Huh?
You want to be on camera?
What? Do you want to give me some questions?
Yeah. Sure. Hold on. So everybody, there's somebody here. You want to say your name?
Yeah, my name is Yusuf from Brazil.
Okay. Awesome. You want to say, how did you get into space?
I think it's maybe 2014, 2015.
Okay.
I started to see some missions, and gradually I started to follow the space community and the activities and everything.
Okay. And so when you were younger, saying you're, I don't know how old you are, but maybe, how old are you?
I'm 30 now.
Sure. So when you were 20 or maybe 5 to 15 years old, somewhere between there, what were you interested in? What were some of your...
Oh, that was totally different actually, because I came from a low-income family in Brazil, so, and my parents, they are all religious, so that's quite a...
What kind of spirituality or religion were you, what was that called?
It's Protestantism.
Oh, okay.
It's like Christian, the normal Christian.
Okay.
They have the Catholics and the Christian. My family, they are Christian.
You want to get you on camera? You want to stand over here?
Yeah.
Just quickly, at least. People like to see who's on camera.
Okay, cool.
As long as you want to stay there or not, either way.
Okay, all right.
I can get over there if you want.
Okay. Cool. Do you have a microphone as well or not?
No, but they can hear me here.
Okay. Cool.
Cool. So, great. So, what were when you were younger in that family over there in Brazil? You said, right?
Yes.
What were you interested in? Was it space or was it
Actually,
something else?
Yeah. When I was younger, I didn't have a lot of perspective on what I wanted to do in life, because my parents, they were all religion minded, so.
Okay.
And myself, I always liked mathematics.
I'm looking for a lady around here.
Oh, cool. So I like mathematics and all these things.
Okay.
And my uncle, he's an engineer as well. So he tried to bring me to engineering. So that's where I went to college. I was lucky to get to college, and the government actually gave me a sponsorship. So I didn't pay for college, but yeah. And from then on, I started to really get into science and everything, and later on I lived in Australia a couple of years, and in there that was actually the time that I started to follow a little bit of space activities.
So when you were younger, what were you interested in? Because when I was younger, I used to go to like the high school, and I would check out the library over there.
Yeah.
And I looked through some of the NASA stuff. But also, when we went on vacation in some places, I'd look for maybe asteroids or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah. And when I got into my 20s, I forgot about that stuff. But was there something similar for you? You said mathematics you were interested in?
Yeah. For me, actually, it was when I was younger, I was really into sports. Actually, in soccer in Brazil or football. Okay. So I used to play a lot. Like, it was my main activity. But then when you start to get older, then you see, okay, sport's not gonna work, so let's find out something else. And for me, actually, space was not I'll be frank, space was not a big thing for me. And but with time, I started to follow. I don't even remember the first time that I watched a launch, for example. But now I watch almost any launch. But and then I started to follow, and SpaceX actually has been a really a how can I say, an attractive way to start following space, because before SpaceX we had a lot of more of military focused guys involved in space, Lockheed Martin or ULA, and those are their majority of their activities. They are related to military activity. And SpaceX, they do as well some military launch, but it's not their main focus, and this brings people more into them.
Good. Okay, cool. So you went to college. You got did you get a degree or something?
Yeah, I got electronics engineering.
Okay.
It's electrical engineering, basically.
Okay, so when I was younger, I was into the space stuff. I forgot about it. I did other stuff.
Yeah.
And now, since I'm 45 now, I thought, well, maybe I'd do some of the stuff that I was interested in when I was younger, and I kind of ended up here again. But maybe you're doing a little bit different. You weren't in soccer. You're saying your dad, your parents maybe were into. Your uncle was engineering.
Yes.
And so you're still going with that, the engineering.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. See, I was escaping my parents and everything, and so they weren't into space or anything. But this was one of my passions and stuff. So I'm rolling this into like some of the spirituality and meditation that you were. But I'm not religious. I'm spiritual, but I'm not Catholic
I
or
understand.
anything.
It's like you like Buddhism. That's not exactly a religion, but it's kind of a way of living, a way of trying to bring yourself to the best of you, what you can achieve and everything.
Right. And everything is. I think everything's connected, and everything takes you in the same spot, right? Maybe. So I don't know. Everything's maybe beneficial if you have a good angle on it. But so what's some of your future? What do you think some of this is? You have any ideas about that, or what you're doing today, or something like that?
For my future, I guess I will probably keep on the field that I am right now. I work with medical equipment.
Oh, cool.
So and that's a field. And that's an area that I quite like. It's I see the results of my work very clearly on helping people, and they can get their healthcare assistance from doctors and everything else, and I am part of this, so I feel quite satisfied with that. But I like to follow the space activities, and this year yesterday actually we heard that we have new activities in the private sector, and I think this is gonna be quite cool in the future. We are gonna see more and more private and public as well, and they going together to new heights and going further.
Cool. So that's really awesome. There's a guy coming here tomorrow. He has a kind of a space medical base kind of thing with like a med bed, like a bed with a pressurized bubble that surrounds it. So if they're in space or whatever, they just put this bubble around the person, and maybe they can take care of the person in that. But I have a surgical tech license, and I've been in surgery and done surgery. I've been helping the doctor with the surgery.
Yes.
So if you want to say anything more about what kind of, you like selling equipment, reselling, or
no? Actually, I install and maintain MRI scans, so MRI and CT scans, and actually, I installed too. Yeah. So for me, my number one activity is to install new equipment. So sometimes I do maintenance, but it's not my main task. So, and MRI, it's pretty nice, and you can see everything that we have inside without opening.
Right.
You so it's and the equipment itself, it had something that it's common with rockets. The MRI has a lot of helium inside the magnet. So
What kind?
helium,
Oh, no, I didn't know.
and in this helium, it's like it's on liquid form. So
Okay.
it is about 4 Kelvin. And so that's actually much colder than all these gases here, like methane and oxygen. Those are like 77 Kelvin or around that, and helium it's way below. Actually, is the material that has the lowest liquid point. So for it to be liquid, it has to be 4 Kelvin, and that's good for the MRI. And it can keep the magnet in the superconducting state.
Wow, awesome.
Pretty cool. And so that's all that we've been working. So where are you from?
Yeah, I'm living here since March of last year, but I'm from Virginia, but I grew up on Long Island in east of Manhattan in New York. So,
Cool.
so I moved here. I was sold my house last January in 2021, and then I kind of went to Miami. I went to Tampa for a month, and then I said, well, what else can I do? And I came down this way, and I really liked it, so I stayed.
Cool.
And I've been started this YouTube channel, and I got inspired by looking at all this big stuff here.
Cool. What's your channel?
Ocean Camera Space Corp. So I'm into the ocean.
Okay.
I got a ocean tattooed on my arm here from like 20 years ago, but I had a dream I was in the ocean, and someone called me Ocean Cam. So
Okay.
I actually trademarked the words Ocean Cam just after later in the year. But so I incorporated the company, but it's based around the idea that there's over 200 moons in the solar system. Like we have the moon here, but there's more than 200 in our solar system. And I interviewed a NASA lady named Dr. from Marshall Space Flight Center. She said that they've most of the moons in the solar system, she said, have liquid water on them.
Yes, that's true.
And I've also seen NASA has put out Oceans in the Solar System PDF. They have a website also. NASA talks about the oceans in the solar system, not oceans on the Earth, but in the solar system, and is 20 to 50 times more water off the planet than on the planet. And no public based space organization has shown us the surface level video imagery of the oceans or the water on another moon or planet in the solar system. But we know there's more water off the Earth than on.
Yeah.
So I incorporated my company to either ourselves do it or help other people get that and focus on getting that imagery from surface level of the oceans or subsurface.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then to harvest the water too. That would be making money off of to harvest. And so to get investors and all kind of stuff and make that happen or help other people do it. So
Interesting.
Ocean Camera Space Corp.
That's interesting.
So there's a chat going. I haven't been looking at the chat. I will check out the chat. And I don't know if you're done or whatever, but cool.
Thank you very much,
really
man.
nice and do this. Yeah. Nice to have you chat with you.
Good luck with if there are your work that you are doing here, and I hope that you have a lot of feedback, good feedback, and success.
Yeah. Do you hope to get a job with SpaceX, or do you have any future or anything like that?
Right now, actually, I can't because of ITAR situations.
Oh, ITAR, that's right. Correct.
Actually, it's impossible. I would have to become a U.S. citizen.
Right.
But you never know.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I come to the U.S. and start working here, get the citizenship. But for the near-term situation, that's basically impossible.
Yeah. One of the workarounds I got for that at my company, Ocean Cam, is to have like ambassadors. We have at the UN, we have different ambassadors. So people, they don't work for the company, but I have listed their names if they chose to. And there's several people that's, I'd like to be an Ocean Cam ambassador, for whatever country. And there are people in Australia. You mentioned you went to Australia.
Yeah.
People from Australia watch the show as well. Where in Australia did you go?
I lived in Brisbane.
Okay, which side of Australia is that?
It is on the same side of Sydney, on the
east side. Okay,
the east side, yeah.
Okay, wow. I've been to Australia before, but a long time ago.
Cool.
Cool. So once more, what's your name if you want?
Jusimar.
Jusimar. And What city in Brazil?
I'm from Belo Horizonte, Brazil.
Belo Horizonte.
If there is anyone from Belo Horizonte, hey.
You want to say how they can contact you or no? It's the other way.
Yes, actually, I on the internet I use the handle gmbarros91, and it's my Instagram, it's my Twitter, it's my email, it's everything.
Cool.
So it's GM and Barros, BARROS 91. 91, it's the year that I was born.
Awesome. Take care. Nice to chat with you again.
You too.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you.
Peace.
All right, everybody. That was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Hopefully that works for everybody to understand and hear. Raphael, nice. Yeah, Juan says you can send a probe to any known world that contains water. You'll need money and willingness to do it, Paul. Yes, Juan. Yeah, and I believe that as well. That's why I'm psyched about this mission. I'll get in front of the camera. Juan, we are on the same page there, Juan. It's just money and willingness and people to support that type of mission. And not only is it a mission of discovery and accomplishment with video photography, because the reason, anyway, it's also to harvest the water. So it's also a survival. It's going to be very useful when we do that video photography. We, as people of the Earth, not just Ocean Camera Spaceport, but we people of the Earth, to do that photography, that video, 4K, it would be nice, of these surface or subsurface level water, whether it's on one of these moons under the ice, or maybe it's on Jupiter or some other area, like some other planet out there. But we want to travel all over the solar system. We want to eventually, after the solar system, travel all over the galaxy. But if we can start here in the solar system and do a couple, maybe three different locations, start out doing one or three, and narrow it down of those three and choose the best one, whichever one we can do soonest. Maybe start planning out 3 different missions, the 3 easiest missions, and once we really zero in, narrow those down, all the details, we can choose which one is more probable success and better likelihood and more costly, more cheapest, in the cost perspective, and then do it. Not only are we going to do the discovery type of mission, but it's also going to be a harvesting mission. So that's going to be a valuable resource when we can do that, because people need to drink water in space. And I don't know, maybe we create a space bar. One of the taglines here at Ocean Camera Space Corp is subscribe for a drink, and that drink is water in space. But maybe subscribe for a drink in space, maybe any type of drink you want. So we're gonna have to eventually, maybe we need to have a space bar in space so that you can drink whatever you want, but we're gonna have to manufacture these type of liquids in space. And the man here that was just speaking next to me said he was in the medical field. I had some other words for that, but in space, in microgravity, zero gravity, you can really heal yourself due to the lack of gravity. So the hormones in space apparently, and the healing process in space is much faster and much better than here on the Earth. So anyway, I'm gonna check out the chat. We have relatively low wind here. Let me check out what's going on here. Thanks, Juan. So it's just going to take the willingness and the coordination, a lot of coordination on organization and everything. Frisbee, thanks. Wings, thanks, man. Yeah, it is a lot of fun to meet people, Frank, meet people from other places. Yeah. Good night, Raphael. Yeah, it is, Chuck. The site is quiet here. Thanks. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun, that chat. Abrar. any job for the young man in space at SpaceX. He said he would have to become a U.S. citizen because of the ITAR technology restrictions on the secrets for the nozzle, and there's probably other stuff. If you'd like to work at SpaceX right now, it's limited since it's a space company, and that is regulated a lot by the ITAR regulations. Tony, yep. Juan again said, you can send a probe to any known world that contains water. You only need money and the willingness to do it. Yeah, and the more people, and need people too, Juan, because it's going to take a lot of brain power to accomplish that thing. A lot of collaboration. Hey, Nick. Hello from Arizona, Tucson, Arizona. That's awesome. You guys have a lot of good Asian markets over there. I'd like to get some of that frozen durian from over there in Tucson, Arizona. Good stuff. All right, scrolling down on the chat here. The drink is a lie. Aaron, I have sent drinks to 2 individuals, and the next time I will be sending people a drink is when we hit 80,000 subscribers. We're currently at 14,700 subscribers. 14,000. February 15, 2022. When we get to 80,000, I will send out some more drinks to select number of individuals who reply to that subscribe for a drink. I posted a comment saying I would be sending drinks to people who respond to the offer in the chat, in the community chat, and 2 individuals did respond when I did that in the chat, and I did send the drinks to those 2. One of them was in Canada with a pizza also, and another one was in the Arizona area. I forgot which area, but yes, I did in fact mail. I had in Arizona, it was a Jamba Juice, and I delivered 2 smoothies to a guy over there, and another was in I don't know which area of Canada, but I used some type of delivery service over there from a pizza, a police. I don't remember the name of the company, but they picked it up from a pizza place that I paid online, and they delivered it to the gentleman's house. So I have delivered 2 drinks to people, including a pizza. Frisbee says, my dream is a tea house in space. Awesome. A tea house and a bar. Should that be called a bar or a tea house? Bar and tea house, or tea house and bar? Frisbee, let me know the correct way to advertise that, and I will maybe ink that in a future plan here at Ocean Camera Space Corp. The Real YT, remember the O2 bars in the 90s? Sad they went away. Yep. Maybe that was just due to a lack of money. We would all, I think, still visit those places if we had an excess of cash. Admiral Sink, thank you. Giovanni, hey, nice to see you here. Good night, man. Yeah, he needs a green card first, or Real YT says. La Quinta Cosmos edition. Says Rick, I'd be okay with a La Quinta Cosmos. Yeah, La Quinta, there's a La Quinta Hotel. You may be referring to that, I believe, maybe. Rick. Frisbee, I did attempt to go to the press event last week, but I was not invited to stay. They kicked me out. I had to register ahead of time, apparently, so I did get my first notification of an event happening in Florida for an upcoming mission. So I did subscribe to the. You can get on the media or the alerts when things happen at SpaceX. I posted a link in the community chat area, so you can go to that link and sign up for future notifications yourself. I did post it on LinkedIn, I posted it on Facebook, Twitter, and also here in YouTube. So you could go back to maybe Saturday. I posted that here in the community section, and you can get that link to where you can go to get notifications of upcoming future press events. They have the deal was that I didn't hear about needing to sign up until after the event sign up was closed. I found out the next day, so they didn't let me stay. When I got here before the event, and I did some video photography, and they didn't let me stay. So I did a live stream from the road closure up the way, about 2 miles, a mile and a half, 2 miles away. Okay, Aaron says, by the way, I'm the dude who showed up before you left during the Starship update. Huh. Okay. Okay, hey Aaron, maybe were you the one that? Yeah, I'm not sure which one. That's awesome. Oh, maybe you had driven down from Corpus Christi, maybe. I think maybe that was Aaron. Nice. The Frisbee says the untwist the space bar. Matthew says. Hey Becky. An orbiting space hotel will do. Okay, so there is a gentleman who is in the. There is a gentleman who has I'm not remembering his name. I have to think about it. He also believes in aliens and everything, and consciousness and out-of-body experiences. But he has a space company as well out of Nevada, I believe it is. If anybody remembers his name, let us know. But he could do some space hotels as well. Thanks, Frisbee. Yep. Yeah. And not only space hotels, but space hospitals. I have posted several videos over the last maybe 5 months by a gentleman named David Adair. And I know there's several David Adairs on YouTube, but this one has a rocket that he developed in 1971. So you could maybe look up David Adair rocket, and he is a great guy. The Real YT says, over at the Lab Padre chat earlier, I mentioned your idea about making some of the parts in low Earth orbit. It was made fun of and said the idea was stupid, always getting made fun of there because I'm not smart enough. That's weird, the Real YT. Yeah, I know. But yeah, making stuff in orbit is going to be a huge thing. And one of the fears by many of the industries here on the Earth is that they will be put out of business due to the amazing quality of parts from space. So David Adair was saying they most likely NASA buried all the space manufacturing and put it and also probably put it into the secret into the elite secret areas of space. So the people, Robert Bigelow, there you go, Aaron. Robert Bigelow, everybody. He does the space structures, inflatable space structures. And he has also done some videos on the news about, he has a website for consciousness and for meditating and all that kind of stuff too. So he's definitely, he may be a billionaire, I believe. Thanks, Rick. Yeah, look up Robert Bigelow. He has some space structures. He's also a very interesting gentleman. And I'd love to partner with Robert on the Ocean Camera Space Corp mission, and or just opening more capability for manufacturing in space. Maybe a space bar, and maybe space hotels, all kind of stuff in space. But the mission here at Ocean Camera Space Corp is to get the video imagery. Maybe he can help us build a spaceship or a space drone, because I have myself been out of body, and I've written a couple books on that from my experiences 20 years ago. I'm 45 now, so in 1996 I had my first out of body experience, and So I'm definitely, and I've expanded out to the universe and everything like that. So I know we're all connected, and this meditation is all about focus, relaxation, and knowing, having the experience, the golden pearl, the pearl of wisdom, and knowing. There's something about knowing, and there is somebody up there on the orbital launch platform, 2 gentlemen. But the difficulty of the space type of technology and the missions to space is that it requires a lot of focus. It's also something really good for humanity and people here on the earth, because it gives them something to strive for, something inspiring and new. So there's a newness. The whole space sector is about newness. It's about becoming a type 1, maybe a type 2, or in the future becoming a type 3 civilization. You can look up Michio Kaku about some of the descriptions of what those types of civilizations are. But I believe we might be a type 0 civilization here on the earth currently. But the people who do meditate, the yogis of Tibet, there's a series of books called The Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East. And they mention many of the skills and some of the practices that those yogis have gone through. Or, yogi is just a generic term. There's many terms for these types of people, adepts. Even in the Star Wars movies, they had talked about the young Jedi or the Jedi. And as you progress in the consciousness field, the out-of-body field, the meditation field, the spirituality field, whatever approach you're taking, whether it's through prayer and meditation, or through selfless service, or maybe it's through just straight out meditation, or maybe it's just through knowledge. Maybe you like to study things with your mind. However you're approaching that knowledge of the greater understanding, maybe the TOE, theory of everything. What's your TOE? What is the theory of everything? Meditation is one avenue of understanding what the actual reality of the universe is, the galaxy. And I believe that I experienced that in 2001 when it could have been 2002, but over that 1 year time frame, 2001 to 2002, I did expand out to the universe, and I also had many oneness experiences, like inclusive experiences where everybody, I felt like I was connected with everything. So this space thing is another way of experiencing that, but right here on the physical planet. But if we want to become a type 2 civilization, we're going to have to include those other realities, those other dimensions, levels of being, and this is all part of that. So whatever it takes for you to get inspired and to live your life is part of that realization of that larger global, maybe world trajectory for humanity. Emil Skinner, nice. Frisbee, thanks, man. Thank you. Casey was awesome. Yeah, the real YT. Awesome. You meditate a lot. Also, ringing in the ears. Awesome. The real YT. I like to read books. I've read. There's one book. There's an author I like called, Carlos Castaneda. There's also Edgar Casey, like you mentioned. There is Robert Monroe. There's Carla Ruckert. She wrote The Law of One. There's Seth Speaks by Jane Roberts. Many people. Rosalind McKnight is another great one. Frisbee, thank you so much. Thanks, Frisbee. Super awesome. Thank you. Thoughts on lucid dreaming? I've got a lot of thoughts. I have another YouTube channel where I've talked about that in depth, called the outofbodyjournal.com. Outofbodyjournal.com. There's a YouTube channel on that name as well. So I got a bunch of videos there from 2016. Mary Poppins to this now. Awesome. I'm self-labeled traveler, says Frisbee. Awesome. Awesome. Type 2 maintenance drone. Mouse, did you see a drone around here? I'll have to look. Thank you. Where's the NASA secret base? STS-125. I don't know. I'm not sure where NASA's been doing their stuff. That's a good question, though. I'll keep my ears open and my eyes open. The real YT says, I told them if we bring all the geniuses together in the world, we could do it. Instead of spending $10 billion on a satellite, nations are doing it, but just not saying anything. Yeah, the real YT, I believe that too. Tony says, I like tea throughout the day, so tea room, and then afternoon and an evening beer and real ale. So, plus a bar. Okay, so a tea room throughout the day, and then late in the afternoon and evening beer and real ale. So a tea room plus a bar, says Tony. Skinwalker Ranch at one point, says Rick. He owned it. Skinwalker Ranch. I gotta look into that. I'm not really familiar with that. Awesome. Oh, okay. Robert Bigelow owned Skinwalker Ranch at one point. I got you. Oh, thank you. Frisbee, awesome. Awesome. Frisbee says he's read Carlos Castaneda as well. Yeah. South is good too, yeah. Manly P. Hall, everybody says, Aaron. Yeah, Manly P. Hall is good too. Gurdjieff as well. Gurdjieff and also Rudolf Steiner. I think the Germans might want to drink all day. All day, the Germans might want to drink. So we might have a beer section as well for throughout the day as well on that space bar. Gustavo says, I knew someone who fell off a horse. They were unconscious and out of her body. So they fell off the horse and then went out of body. And then she could see her friends tending to her and she entered her body again. Gustavo, that's awesome, super awesome. That's a life-changing experience, Gustavo. So yeah, people have these out-of-body experiences by accident. And then they also can have them through meditation as well, or a trance state. Stanley says, everything in the universe is connected because everything is bound together with a constant eternal flow of energy. Yeah, Stanley. Aaron says, yes, Bigelow owned Skinwalker Ranch. Frisbee, yeah, I've never met Elon in person. I have seen him here at the launch site. And I have met him in a dream. So the question is about dreaming. Lucid dreaming. Yeah, I believe lucid dreaming is powerful, and I have a video on that as well. But I believe as we become more alert, more aware in our sleeping state, then we can have more and more profound experiences. I believe we can learn while we're asleep. So, and we can also travel, like out of body stuff, and meet people and do things while we sleep. So if we sleep at least 8 hours a day, that's at least 30% of our life. 30% of a life is in the dream state. So, or in the deep sleep state, or maybe it's called the out-of-body state. I don't know, but we spend at least a third of our life in human terms in the sleep state. So, and then when we die, we kind of transition, I believe, to another state of being, and maybe we have another lifetime. So if we can bridge that gap from the sleep state to the more aware state, then we would venture toward the Type 1 civilization. I have done that quite a bit, so I was entirely focused on that type of experience in my 20s for a good 5-year period. Yeah, Rick, Art Bell was awesome. And yeah, I listened to him for many years when I was just getting started in the 1996 time frame. That's when I found Art Bell in 1996. He was awesome. I'd love to do some of what he was doing. It'd be cool to be on the radio and chatting with people. He's one of my models for being here in commentary. Let me see. So Rick, I'm with you, man. I followed him until he went off the radio. That was really good, amazing stuff. And yeah, I'd love to have that opportunity to do a similar type show as he was doing. All I have to do is, I guess, start doing it. I just maybe I'll start doing that, Rick, because that was those were some fun shows. And all I would have to do is start a live stream on my other channel and start doing that type of thing, talking with different interesting people from across the globe about those types of topics. Aaron says he's gonna go back to the Brownsville area in a day or two. Let's grab a beer. Yeah, that sounds great, Aaron. I maybe a kombucha. I'm a kombucha type of person. I don't drink any beer or anything, but we can find something to drink. Yep, you can have a beer if you like. That sounds awesome. Yeah, send me a message, Aaron. That'd be a lot of fun. Ken says, can you talk about most moons have liquid water in them? Can you say where the heat is coming from to keep the water liquid? Yeah, okay. That's an interesting question. Yeah. So on each moon, it's going to be a little bit different, but I know that I believe some of the heat is generated from just like our moon. Our moon stays in one spot around the Earth's surface, and it's our moon, maybe artificial. It's thought David Adair and other people think that our moon was placed in its orbit by another civilization, and that the moon is actually mostly hollow. And I owe you a drink. That's cool. I'll buy you a drink. Say hello to me. Say the time and the place. And if it works for me, we can work something out, and I'll buy you a drink. How about that? That's good. That's doable. That'd be a lot of fun. So where does the heat? I'm wearing the hat for the sun. You know, I don't want to get skin cancer or anything like that. People don't. Anyway, I believe the sun's good, but I haven't been eating it right. So I've been eating food that would cause my skin to get red and everything. And so in the last couple of days, my skin's gotten red. So the moon is thought to be hollow, and there may be other civilizations, other races living inside the moon. Maybe there are humans there as well. Maybe the NASA has some secret space stuff going on at the moon. Maybe some of the elites, some of the elite people have some missions going on over there at the moon. Some people say there's a lot of different races on the moon. So anyway, the moon doesn't rotate. It's one of the few objects in the solar system that doesn't rotate. And David Adair, you can see, he has said that the moon was placed here by another civilization a long time ago. So if you look at the Hindu history, the books and the Sanskrit writings of life here on the Earth, is that it goes back much. The Earth is much older, and it's been here a much longer time than the Western scientists say through their carbon dating. So the Hindu culture has a different history and a different tradition of the Earth, and they say that there were flying ships called vimanas, and that there were big battles by beings that came from off planet kind of thing. So they have a whole different history of the Earth, and you can read about that in the writings of the Hindu Puranas, I believe is Purana, Purana. So the different moons in the solar system. So our moon doesn't rotate, which is very odd. There's maybe one other moon in the solar system, which is some indication that other moon also is artificial. So many of these, pretty much every other moon in the solar system rotates around the planet, maybe Jupiter or Saturn or whatever, in an elliptical orbit. So as that orbit, it's not a circular orbit, it's an oblong. It's like the Earth goes around the sun, and there's an apogee and a perigee. Apogee is the furthest distance, and the perigee, like a periscope, is the closest distance to the sun. So in the summer, we're closer to the sun, and in the winter, we're further away, I believe, unless I mix it up. But so we have an apogee and perigee here on the Earth going around the sun. In the same way, we're rotating around the solar system. And we don't rotate around the sun like that, and we don't just do it like that. We're all moving through space in an elliptical orbit. and that some parts of that elliptical orbit were close to the sun and others were far. So anyway, these moons have a elliptical orbit around the planet that they're in proximity to, and so that causes movements in the crust, friction in the crust, I guess, and that also allows, it melts the liquid oceans underneath the ice, and that's where the heat comes from. It's from that friction, and it's thought to be from the friction and from the maybe that causes the volcanic kind of stuff under the ice as well. I'm not sure. We're not sure on the different moons, depending on which moon we're talking about, but that movement, elliptical orbit around its planet, its host planet, is what heats up the oceans under the ice. Gustavo says beer is tough on the body. Yeah, maybe look up kombucha, Kombucha. Has a very tiny fraction of beer, but of alcohol, but it's a great fermented with a very near zero alcohol level. It's one of the health things they sell at Walmart and also at Heb Plus and Heb grocery stores here. All right, Frisbee says, open invites you if you head toward actual. Frisbee, there's another individual here called the Magician, and also Elongated is also in the actual area. Awesome, Frisbee. Well, we all of us could meet up together. That'd be awesome. Thanks, Frisbee. Thanks for the support again. Paul says, let's mine metals from the lunar mascons. Awesome. Yeah, mining, and it's thought that maybe China might be already mining on the moon, so mining helium-3. Aaron says the moon does rotate. Interesting. I'd have to learn more about that. Thanks, Aaron. Let me know more about where you're getting that info. Yeah, I don't think it does rotate. Yeah, we never see the far side of the moon. Alfredo says the Earth is 7 billion years old. Yeah, all I know is, Alfredo, if we look at the Hindu history, where they talk about having ships and everything and people being able to fly and everything like that, they say the Earth is much older than 7 billion years old. Many, 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 many times older than the 7 billion. And there's cycles called yugas, Y-U-G-A, yugas. Look up how long does a yuga last? Y-U-G-A. How long does a Hindu yuga or an age last? And how many yugas are in a cycle? And how many cycles of yugas have occurred in the Hindu history of the universe? That'll be a pretty interesting answer, Alfredo. Check that out. Yugas, the Hindu yugas, the cycles. And how many cycles have there been? And how long does a yuga last, an age? Aaron says it's just that it happens to rotate in such a manner that one side always faces us. Yep. And then what individual would put the moon in such a position so that it just rotates and has the same side facing the Earth? Maybe that would be somebody that wants to observe the Earth from orbit. If you have your cameras on one side of the moon and you want to spy on the Earth, then if you have the same side facing the Earth, then you don't have the camera going and looking at other stuff that you don't want it to look at. So you can observe the Earth 24/7 from the moon. And there's thought to be some type of cloaking technology, some type of camouflage, so we can't see what's actually on the moon. I know in the military there have been videos on the internet about some invisibility technology, some type of almost like a cape that they can put, some of the soldiers have put around them their bodies so that you can't see them, so that they could use that same technology on the moon to shade their machinery and other type of stuff there on the moon. So I believe they're doing the same thing, and it's also easier, just like a Photoshop. You can Photoshop and airbrush photos, and I believe I've heard at the Dr. Stephen Greer did a event, I believe around the 2000 timeframe, a disclosure, and he had a lady who used to work for NASA that said she was working at NASA, and there was an airbrushing department at NASA to remove objects from images that were taken of these different moons and other areas. So there is an airbrushing department over there at NASA, and you can easily find some of that imagery just on YouTube by different people who do a lot more research about that. Aaron says, Paul, I drink the hard kombucha. That's good. There you go. That's good. Yeah, it is unstacked, everybody, and that's thought to be because of maybe some severe weather that might be coming through. They don't want to have it stacked if it gets really windy here. So that's thought to be for stability and everything else, if it gets really windy. I had a tent here in last April, February and April, March and April of last year. I tented out over there at South Padre Island, and I had a huge tent that I got at a pawn shop. And one day the wind got so strong that it blew all the tents away. It destroyed all the tents over there on South Padre Island. So it can get really windy here, everybody. So we're coming up into that windy time frame, I believe in late March or April, and it's going to get really windy. Josh says the reason we never see the other side of the moon is because it's constantly rotating at the same rate it orbits the Earth. If it didn't rotate, we would see all of the moon. Yeah, the only another piece of data in that is that the moon, when they crashed one of the objects into it a long time ago, they said the moon rang like a bell. It rang. When if it were a solid structure, it wouldn't have rang by crashing a little tiny thing into it. So I believe just a reminder that the rocket, what was thought to be a rocket heading for the moon, it thought to be a SpaceX rocket, is now apparently looking more like a Chinese ship being sent to the moon, maybe to land on the moon and do some type of mission over there on the moon. So it's not actually a SpaceX rocket, it's actually a Chinese ship, which matches the trajectory and everything else. And so yeah, Frisbee, it was getting pretty heated here with the Booster 4 being put on the orbital launch platform. The Starship was next, and then maybe they would do a cryo test and a static fire. That would have been out of this world. But they did delay the environmental review to at least the end of March, and maybe they'll delay it several more times. And I believe maybe later in the year we will eventually get a approval, most likely. Aaron says, yes, there was a team that airbrushed official NASA photos. So when they airbrush things, that is clear evidence of some bad malevolent, some bad acting there. Josh says, nearly all the moons in the solar system rotate the same as the moon, with one side facing its parent planet constantly. I believe the only exception is the Hyperion. Hey, Josh, I'm going to have to say, I'm going to call baloney on that, Josh. I think you're entirely incorrect with that understanding. I believe they do not rotate the same as our moon. And I believe, I don't know what book you're reading, but no, I would say that's not true. But maybe I'm wrong, but I think you're entirely incorrect about that. Aaron says, which part of Isla Blanca Park were you posted up at? I was at the, okay, I was over there, not inside the RV park area, I was, before going through the gate on the right, there's some other tent spaces because I didn't have an RV. I was in a tent. So I was near the, where the boats, there's some camping spaces over there where the boats, in the harbor, where the boats can rope themselves to the in the bay there. Stanley says something interesting. Stanley says there are natural gravitational frequencies between all matter in the universe. These frequencies could be utilized to communicate across vast distances. Very interesting, Stanley. Very interesting. I also know that there is, it's thought that some of the light, bursts of light that we see throughout the galaxy and from galaxy to galaxy is actually galactic communication using light, bursts of light. And we just have fast radio bursts, FRBs, I believe they are called. And apparently in the public sector, we apparently don't know what these flashes of light mean, but maybe in the military sector, in the secret private sector, maybe they do know what these flashes of light mean. We were at the amphitheater, I got you, during the launches. Interesting, Aaron. Cool. Yeah, Aaron says the moon did ring. Awesome. Yeah. Frisbee, have you seen RoboDog around Starbase? No, I haven't. I have seen people who took photos of it in video, but I haven't myself seen it. No. Paul Shields says solid structures do also ring. Awesome, Paul. Maybe you're right. Could be. You could be right. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, Tony says the film Predator they had a cloaking device in that movie also. Yeah, and apparently The Simpsons have a lot of correct information as well. So we could also look at The Simpsons in addition to the movie The Predator. Josh says, if you'd like me to send you sources for moon rotations, let me know and I'll drop you an email. You're welcome to. Yeah, Josh, that'd be awesome. I'd like to see what your sources are. So sure. Yeah, send me an email. The email here is info@oceancam.space. I'd like to check it out. Hey Frisbee, I don't know anything about the border. You'd have to ask someone else that question. I don't know anything about the border or safety. Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Sorry, I'm tightening the wrong button here. Some people smoking by here. I don't smoke, so kind of annoying. Let's see. Phil says, regarding NASA airbrush, nothing bad going on there. Look at the Voyager photos. There were black and white markings inside each photograph from cameras. These had to be removed, for example. Hey Phil, the more power to you. If you don't see any malevolence there, then everybody's welcome to have their own story of what's going on. So my story is just like another story, just like yours. So. Okay, we got a bunch of people who believe the conventional story. Good stuff. I would lump Phil, Aaron, and who else? Josh. Phil, Aaron, and Josh, you are all in the same camp. Good on you. Good on you. Yeah, we have. They don't allow any Nightbot does not allow any cursing in the stream here. I don't have any comments on the community here, so yeah. Oh, hey, yeah. I have no criticism of the community here. You know, one of the funny things is that sometimes people who are into saving the animals also really like to eat meat. You know, so some of the times people are triggered about it's because they have a personal issue with it as well. A lot of people who are into saving the animals also like to eat hamburgers and like to eat steak and everything else. They have somewhat of an interesting combination of interests there. A lot of people like to save the turtles or save the animals or save the starfish, but then they also like to go eat some seafood and cook up some fish. So it's kind of an interesting combination of concerns. So in the same way, a lot of people have a death wish because they sense that they're missing something, and what they're missing is the connection with the source, connection with the spirit. And the fastest way to get that connection, when someone denies and says, no, the spirit does not exist, I'm a materialist and it's all fake stuff, the fastest way for a materialist, because to reach the spirit when they're in opposition to it mentally, is for them to have an accident and to die, actually, to approach death. By approaching death, because subconsciously in the spirituality world, we know that everything is connected, and the unconscious, a lot of people in the material sense they believe in the unconscious or the subconscious. And it's quite ironic that unconsciously, if you look at kinesiology, the body is in connection with all knowledge in the universe because we're all connected, right? The body's connected. It's only the mind which is disconnected. So the unconscious mind of the individual knows that the conscious mind is lost. So the separated, the broken individual has a death wish because they want to bridge that gap between the unconscious and the conscious. And the fastest way, people like speed, people don't like to wait, people aren't necessarily patient when it comes to something that they're really attracted to. So the fastest way for a materialist, scientist, unconscious to the spirit, to reach the spirit consciously, is through death or an accident. So a lot of young people and even older people have a death wish because they're attracted to the spirit and they don't know why. They just know it's really cutting edge, and the best way, the most exciting way to get there is when they're that lost, is a death, having a near-death experience or an actual end-of-life experience. So it's too bad that is the state of affairs on the earth. So yeah, anyway. Do you believe the environment is being served by the local community? Awesome. So so there's save the chickens, right? Yeah. Save the Paul. There we go. Yeah, nobody wants. Stanley, even in China, they eat dogs in China. I believe they skin dogs alive and they eat them, is what I've heard. So they torture animals over there in China because they don't believe they are you know, it doesn't matter if you torture an animal. It's just an animal, right? So anyway, I am a vegetarian, but I'm not triggered, and I'm not a save the animal type of person. You know, I believe each being inhabits its body under its own willingness, and the one awareness is in all the body. So there's a lot of sadness throughout the universe. So you know, do what you can. I do what I can, and you know, think globally, act locally. Is you gotta, that's a phrase. Think globally, act locally. So I try and do that myself. You know, do what I can. Right? Can't save the planet, can't save the world, but can do my part to improve things. At least my little bit. Right? The Chinese do like pandas though, so I don't think you'll see them eating a panda. I don't know. I don't know if there's any videos about the Chinese eating pandas, but I think they do respect certain animals, you know. And you can't generalize any type of people. There's individuals within every you know, types of people here on the earth. So there's good and bad in every culture. So. Paul Shield says, diet is a personal choice, and unless you're a cat, but cats are a part of creation too. Yeah, and cats are carnivores. So anyway, yeah. Frisbee says, or fall in love. Easier than the death route. Oh, that's a good, I like that, Frisbee. That's a good thing to know there too. You think falling in love would get you out of body? I don't know. It would definitely help you experience oneness, and yeah, maybe love, falling in love too. I've never had an out of body experience due to falling in love, but maybe connection with the universe, I guess. Yeah, so connection with the universe, Frisbee, would be a result of being in love. So that does fit into that as well. Thanks. Good one. Alfredo says, just like a tree hugger living in a log cabin. Yeah, Alfredo, right? To live in the woods, you got to cut down some trees, or maybe harvest the trees that have already fallen down, right? or anyway, we could go down that route. Well, just do the best you can, and be inspired about whatever inspires you, I guess. That's good. Okay, NoSum1234. Paul, I work for one of the salvage yards in the area. Would you be interested in some Starship parts? Yes. NoSum, yes, I would be. And yeah, please contact me. We could talk more about that. That'd be awesome. Yeah, definitely. So the email here is info@oceancam.space. On the website there, oceancam.space, on that link, there is www.oceancam, OCEANCAM.space. There is a contact us link there, and there's a email there, info@oceancam.space. Unless you already have a way to contact me. The Real YT says, yes, in China they eat dogs and cats. Again, someone who used to live there has a video on YouTube. Yeah. Even, you know, I think everywhere on the planet people eat dogs and cats, you know, if they're motivated enough, if they're starving, right? Unless you're a vegetarian or something, and you know how to kind of live on vegetables, or just meditate and do the liquidarian, breatharian thing. Stanley says, eating a panda is a true crime against nature. All right, Stanley, I am there with you. Eating a panda is a crime against nature. I'm with you. Tony says, I enjoyed your talk. I'm sick. My parents used to tell me stories as a Sikh warriors. Awesome, very interesting. You know, if some of you have some stories like that, and I encourage you to do some YouTube videos and share your experience, share your knowledge, the stories, because it's I know I'd like to watch some of those things, and I'm sure a lot of other people would like to too. The way to do it is just create a YouTube channel here. Yeah, I guess you're here in the chat. You already have a YouTube presence, and just upload a couple videos to your channel, and then maybe send me a link if you want. Otherwise, I'm sure people, whatever age you are, people will like to watch whatever you're passionate about talking about, some of your stories, or some of your live streams. Frisbee, it's been a while since I've gone swimming. I've been focused on getting things back in order here and not dilly-dallying over there in the ocean, but maybe I'm getting back to that point where I did go swimming about maybe a month ago, and the water wasn't too cold. I mean, I could still swim, and I had a really good time. So thanks for reminding me. I think I might start doing that again. I've just been focusing 100% on getting things going again here, and doing the work that needed to be done to keep the channel active. Nosum says maybe you can give some parts away for subscribing. That sounds awesome, Nosum. Yeah, that sounds really cool. If we can work something out, or if you want to donate stuff, or if I can buy some at some type of price, and let's chat. That'd be awesome. I know over at MSX, Makerspace X, they bought some parts that almost looked like shelves in a house, and they were, I think, around $15 a part. They did spend a good chunk of money on it, but they were pretty heavy parts, almost like if you're going to put some shelves up in your house. They were kind of like an L-shaped, but it was really dense metal. And I know, so let me know what kind of thoughts you have about that. Nosum, thanks. Stanley says, once you're in tune with the Earth's natural frequency to your body, you can be anywhere on the Earth at any time. Very interesting. Tony says, I can't help much about space. I just like the rockets. And 3, 2, 1, ignition and liftoff. Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, and the crackle. Huh? Yeah. Everybody's got skills. So. Oh, did a Tesla just go by? That's good stuff. Good stuff. Aaron says to know some. He's very interested also in getting some parts. Awesome. Dekinan69 says, don't believe that. Giving parts of scrap Starship parts out. Pretty sure there'll be a contract or doc, not hand out SpaceX parts. I got you. The real YT said, someone said having any Starship parts is illegal. Don't know if it's true. That person might have parts and don't want to say they do. I got you. Stainless steel says, no, they're all stainless steel. Okay. Stanley says, I believe the Earth's natural frequency is 10 to the minus 16 hertz. Cool. Piece of the Chinese rocket, says Mule Skinner. More scrap than parts. Yeah, cool, cool. Well, you know, what one of the things I'm working on, I was chatting with, this morning, I'll say it again, this morning I had brunch with the 3 gentlemen. I know 2 of their names, Al, Bill, and a 3rd gentleman. I didn't remember his name, but they were saying that to do a poll for the camera, one of the better shapes was a triangle. I've heard that here in the chat as well, but if I could get some scrap parts to make that a triangular pole for the remote camera, because the camera, the triangle is really stable. If I could get some scrap parts to do that, that's one of my thoughts as far as metal is concerned. If I could build that tower with maybe a triangle like that and a 3rd pole on the other side for stability or something. You can make some neat plaques. Yeah, we have a CNC machine over there at Makerspace X, and so we could also put designs into that. Maybe put the Ocean Camera Space Corp logo So that's an idea. If you have some kind of flatter metal, then we could put some designs into that. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Good. Yeah, that could work. I've thought about. I have some rings for sale on eBay. There's a link on the Ocean Camera Space Corp website to the store in the shop there. There's a link to eBay with some a couple products on there. We have some solar panels as well, but we could put the Ocean Cam logo on those rings as well. We currently have a SpaceX logo on them, but the more types of things we can do, the better, the funner, and we just keep developing our capability, you know. Okay, so to the right here, there is, I don't see anything here per se going on. I was over at the build site and I did a short video over there in 4K, which I have yet to upload, but I did get a video from over there, which I'll upload later. I just wanted to get going live and get this shot here. But I know over there in front of the high bay, in the wider, higher bay, they have stacked yesterday. They stacked the nose cone in the high bay over there for the new Starship 22. And so I got some imagery of that today. Kent says mount a cam to a 6-foot chunk of 4-inch concrete sewer pipe. Yeah, right, 6 foot, 4 inch. The only issue with that is getting it out there to the remote camera site. There's about 4 huge puddles on the way there, and I have some boots that I wear to get there. The puddle is about 1 to 2 feet deep. Some of those puddles, so I have to wade out there to get to that location, to that site. And I have a two-wheel drive truck, so I can't really drive out there. So it's limited to things that I can carry. Yeah, PVC, okay, that's a good idea. Maybe I can fill the PVC with concrete, huh? Or something like that. Okay, Josh, thank you. Thank you. Personal quadcopter, that's awesome. Yeah. There's a gentleman coming tomorrow who's looking, I don't want to give away his idea, but he has something in the, I don't want to give away his idea, but there's an interesting gentleman in the quadcopter, what you just mentioned there, but I'll let him talk about it if he chooses to. There are people working on some interesting things related to the drones, you know. His name is Matt. He might be stopping by tomorrow. I'm not sure how long he's going to maybe be here, but I did a chat with him last year sometime. Maybe October, November of last year. He's got several businesses as well. So I just noticed there in the bottom right of the screen, beneath that lift, there's an orange lift there to the right. There's an SPMT over there, everybody. I don't know if they're going to roll that under the Starship, but I will zoom in on the SPMT to showcase it. Because if they're going to move the Starship somewhere, they're going to need an SPMT, and there's nothing else out here that they would use an SPMT for. Thanks. Yeah, Dakina, there's several likes on this video today, huh? Yeah. Know some. I hear you. I hear know some. I'm not sure I could do that. Subscribe for a drink. I'm thinking of changing that to say subscribe for a drink in space. Yeah, so there is that is the SMFT there. So, that was probably your boss that went by? Wow. Picking up some pieces, huh? That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, so I may change that to subscribe for a drink in space. The road closure is coming up. There is a road closure tomorrow, Wednesday. Today is Tuesday, February 15, 2022. Road closure tomorrow, as well as Thursday, and also Friday morning, starting at, I believe, around 6 a.m. So tomorrow's road closure is 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. again. Maybe they'll cancel that. I know they had road closures Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but they added tomorrow, Wednesday also. And the big thing was, I guess, destacking of the Starship from on top of the booster. And since they accomplished that, maybe they're canceling some of these other road closures throughout the week. I'm not sure why they added the road closure for Wednesday, but when I went to Brownsville earlier this morning, I came down here, I set up the remote camera, I got it working, and then I left back to go to brunch. But on the way to Brownsville, I saw another one of those long yellow structures that I think the last one that I saw that I got video of, people were saying was going to the build site. So they did brought down a huge piece of yellowish structure on a big flatbed truck. And maybe that's why they're doing the road closures. I'm not sure, but they did do an intermittent road closure several last week, and people said that was for over there at the build site. And the only thing that I saw over there that they were moving, maybe preparing to move that day, was one of those yellow structures that I saw coming down the road from Brownsville this morning. Tony, you like that one better. Good stuff. In space, right? Drink Moon H2O. That's a SES Rust Tech. Drink Moon H2O. That would be a good brand. Drink Moon. Drink Drink Moon, right? Drink Mars. Drink Enceladus H2O. The whole drink Moon, drink Mars, drink, that would be a good brand. Wow. We are at 5:18 p.m. We're right now at the 5:18 mark in the video here, p.m. The other crane for the wide bases, Kevin. That yellow thing, cool. Yeah, a lot of people around here own pickup trucks. So the question was, I wonder how many people in Texas, says a real YT, own trucks, pickup trucks. Dreonax says, is it true that Starbase is moving to the Cape? Yeah, it does look a lot cleaner around here, huh, Sam? Elon mentioned it as something that they're already doing, activating the launch site over there at, believe it's Kennedy Space Center in Florida, Cape Canaveral, Titusville. Yeah, building a second tower. But whether they're going to be leaving here, I don't think they have any plans to leave this area. Maybe just to do more launches over there if they don't get any permission over here. So the sheriff over there, I'm just showing the sheriff is down there and has his lights blinking. That oftentimes means some type of road closure or something like that. But it can also mean that they're just acting like a policeman over there and doing some police work. So, or it could just be that they wanted to turn their lights on. I'm not sure why the lights are blinking over there by the sheriff, but sometimes they run out into the field and look for people that are out here closer to the border. So we are about 2 miles to the right is the Mexican border or the U.S. border with the Rio Grande River over there. It's just 2 miles to the right along the beach. So sometimes they do have some type of border patrol going down the beach or up the beach looking for people. So. DeKinney says Starbase is going to be used as a test facility and to keep the main launch. Yeah, I did hear DeKinney, and I heard Elon say that as a possibility as well, that if they needed to, if they just weren't able to get the permission to launch from here, that they would make this the research R&D area and launch everything out of the Cape or elsewhere, like off of oil rigs. Elon did make the oil rigs as a higher, he really did say like they would actively go forward with the oil rigs. And I wasn't expecting that when he said that, to come right out and just say, yeah, and we're also going to launch off of oil rigs. And he mentioned, I believe, around 20 miles from the coast, from the shore, that they could launch from oil rigs. There is an oil rig here that they bought called the Deimos, and that is in the harbor right now in the port of Brownsville. And they currently haven't done any work on the Deimos ship, but if they needed to, if they definitely were not going to get permission for the environmental thing, then maybe they would pick up activity both in Florida and also on the Deimos and the Phobos oil rigs that they renamed and now own. Yeah, the real YT. If they didn't get to launch from here, that would be a sad state of affairs, not only for SpaceX, but for the community here, because just for instance, if the government, we often hear about military bases that are pulling out of areas, and a lot of jobs are lost, and the whole area suffers. Many of the larger cities here in the United States are so big and so prosperous, and there's so much money flowing through these cities because there's some type of military presence, or there's some type of large government structure in that city. If we could look at Long Island, there's many, Grumman is over there in Long Island. We can look at Jacksonville, Florida with the NAS. Many of the different cities around the country are so big, again, because they have some type of government funds coming through, stimulating the whole economy. So if SpaceX were to be forbidden from expanding in this area, they'd like to do, I believe, 3 launches a day from right over here at the SpaceX launch site, orbital launch platform, which they just spent a lot of money building. But if the public and if the different space organizations and government organizations around the world prohibit SpaceX from launching here, this whole area is going to suffer. They're going to miss out on a lot of money, and SpaceX will just go to a different location and spend their money over there in Florida, or maybe in a different country. Where else could they spend their money? Maybe in the maybe down in the Louisiana, Mississippi area. Maybe up north in in some of the northern areas of the United States, central but northern areas. Maybe they would go to Europe. Where else could they go? Maybe they could go to China. I know Tesla has a lot of factories in China. So SpaceX is an international they have an international reach. They have international partnerships and collaborations. So it would be easy for Elon to spend his money and SpaceX to spend their money elsewhere and to skip over Brownsville and this entire community. To the UK, says DeKeenan. I mean, we're talking about a hiccup here. We're not talking about, it's just an opportunity missed or wasted for the Brownsville community. They want to play with the crabs or the turtles out in the ocean and still go to the restaurant and eat turtle soup. Then there's some type of ironic story there that is quite interesting. You gotta ask yourself: is saving the turtles and saving the fish a better story for your children and the future of the community, or is launching some rockets to other moons and planets in the solar system, is that a better story? You got to figure out is saving some of the fish in the area and saving some of the surrounding grasses. There's a lot of beautiful grasses. And I mean, how many of you go outside and you look at the grass outside of your building, or maybe you live on a private land in the wilderness? Maybe you have a couple acres or maybe hundreds of acres. How many of you like to go outside and look at the grass and the different insects and the butterflies? How long can you do that? And after doing that for maybe 5-10 years, how inspiring is that? Maybe 6 to 8 years. We could look at the grass. We could look at the different types of mud. And we can look at the different interesting insects and worms and other butterflies and larvae. And right out here, I mean, we can look at the, I will turn the camera here and we're gonna get some amazing footage of the wildlife here at SpaceX area. I'm gonna have to zoom in and forget the SpaceX stuff. Let's just go look at the wildlife here. Maybe this is what we need to be doing. Sorry. I did not pick up on this earlier, but I should have done this earlier. Okay, everybody, I'm going to move the camera. We're going to leave SpaceX because, forget about SpaceX. This is the future, everybody. This is it right here. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of views on this video. I'm going to zoom out. Wow, look at this. Look at this, everybody. All right, everybody, take off my hat. Now I represent the Brownsville community, everybody. Right here, look at this, everybody. We got some grass. This is grass grown in Brownsville. It's really special grass. This grass has been interacted with the stars and the cosmic rays coming down. These are special. It has a special rotation in the grass structure. This is really grass from the southern Texas area, and it's very special. We have to preserve this grass because there's only so much grass here like this, and once the grass burns, then it's just going to grow back again. But right now, this grass is very special, and we need to protect this grass. There's a lot of sand here too. The sand is probably hundreds of millions of years old, and it's become sand due to all the oceanic waves crushing the crust. The silica was, a result of all this types of earth processes that have resulted in this natural fine sand that you won't find in some other areas where there's more larger stones. So we should really protect this amazing sandy soil here. And there's probably no chance that this sand will ever be affected by anything happening here at SpaceX, but this is Brownsville sand, and you can't buy this sand. It's invaluable. This is special sand, and we need to protect the sand. There's some muddy marsh area over here with a special mixture of the ocean water permeating through the sand, and there's still some dead vegetation over there too. So we have a special marshy area over there as well. And we definitely don't want this to be affected by the happenings on the opposite side of the road there. So if we can save the marsh, it's really special, and it's very inspiring as well. It doesn't change much, but it's still right there, and we need to save the marsh as well. There's a lot of special air over here. It's much cleaner air than you would find in a city like Brownsville. Brownsville is a very polluted city. There's a lot of vehicles, a lot of trucks, a lot of cars. So out here we have very special air. The particulate level in the air, parts per million, is probably much less than in a city. So we should definitely protect the air over here. And this is unlike any other air. This is Boca Chica air. We have the ocean over there, and the ocean, we get air currents from the ocean. It's unlike any other area except every other coastline on the planet. So like every other coastline on the planet, we have very special air here in the Boca Chica area. This is Boca Chica air. It wasn't always called Boca Chica area, but once the community bought this area and founded, there was a big hurricane many years ago, and there was actually a city over there on the beach. And since the hurricane came through and washed away that city over there on the beach, nobody cares about that city anymore. So we won't talk about that. We won't talk about that this whole area was already developed in the past, and then there was a big hurricane. There was actually a bank over there on the beach. But now that is gone, nature has reclaimed the beach. Once again, nature has told us the message. Nature has told us we need to preserve this area, and it's very special that nature has spoken with us. So we should definitely listen to nature, because nature knows best, and we should definitely prevent anybody from building over here. That's why the state parks people bought up land all around the launch site here to help nature in nature's mission of preserving the area. I know nature exists all around the earth. Nature exists on every other moon and planet in the solar system, but at least here we can listen to nature, because this is a special area, and the different nature spirits have told us as much. So listen to the nature spirits. Ignore what's back there. That is South Padre Island back there. They didn't listen to nature over there, and look what happened. Look what happened over there. They built a lot of big buildings. Nature told them, hey, don't build these buildings. This is precious air, very precious air. The beach is precious. Look over there. They built those big structures over there. They weren't listening to nature. And what? There's a big economy over there too. They got ugly money over there. Ugly money and big buildings. And yes, they still have beaches over there. And the beaches over there at South Padre Island, don't tell me this. Don't tell me this. I know some of you think the beaches over there are nicer than over here at Boca Chica Beach. I know some of you on the weekend go over there to South Padre Island, and you spend your money and your time over there on the beach at South Padre Island. But we have a beach here, Boca Chica Beach. We need to spend, there's nothing to spend money on over here at Boca Chica Beach. We're listening to nature. We are in tune with nature. And I know some of you want to go over there to South Padre Island and spend your money, but you can't spend your money here, but you can spend your time here on a ugly beach. So you should come to the ugly beach that nature has saved, and be inspired by the ugly beach. So I don't see any other animals around here. Occasionally there are some deer that I have seen. After a year I saw some deer and maybe some horses over there in the field, wild horses and wild deer. And there was a deer, maybe a deer pathway over there around where I'm renting my camera. But otherwise, and occasionally I see some sea crabs, some crabs over here. I hope I didn't lose everybody, or maybe I gained several thousand people on this live stream. Maybe you will impress me and show me how many people have watched this segment here, covering the amazingly interesting landscape over here at Boca Chica, in the state park. just past this fence here, state park area. There's also some federally protected area here as well, owned by the United States government. And interestingly enough, I mailed over 80 letters to property owners all around the area, and I got the addresses from the tax map office for Cameron County. This is Cameron County, South Texas. So I sent over 80 letters. I mailed letters by hand to over 80 property owners in the area. And you know what happened? The United States government, the letter I sent to the United States government asking if they want to sell or rent their property, they own several lots around here. That letter got returned to me. The letter didn't reach them. Right there at the county tax map office, there's an address there, and I sent a letter, a physical letter, to the United States government here in Texas. Interestingly enough, I don't know if there's an LLC named themselves United States government, but I sent a letter to, and they own many pieces of property around here, federal government over there, up there on the dunes and south of the launch site. All these different parties have gathered around here to protect nature, because I know they weren't attracted to the area for any other reason than to protect nature. So I don't see them utilizing the area at all. But for some reason, they gathered around the launch site here. I can't understand why. I mean, this is an ugly, I'll have to turn the camera down and around. Well, look here. Everybody, still so many people here. I don't know why you're all here. This is a very ugly structure here. And I don't know why anybody would want to buy land around this structure. This is obviously a highly polluting environment here. They put all this nasty concrete on the ground. They built these big buildings almost like they were trying to replicate what was done over there at South Padre Island. I know there's a lot of money being spent over there at South Padre Island. I know some people consider these structures to be beautiful, but definitely this is a terrible. Nature obviously is telling us that this is a unnatural structures being built over here, and I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do about this, but for some reason the United States government, can any of you tell me why? Why would the United States government buy land around this ugly structure? I don't know why. Why would the state parks buy state land around this structure? If you look at the county tax maps, they didn't go in other areas. For some reason, they chose to protect nature around this lot here. This Dogleg LLC owns this lot. Why would they gather around a Dogleg LLC property? Maybe they like dogs. Maybe they like to protect the dog that owns this property here. Dogleg LLC. Look it up. For some reason, SpaceX also likes that dog because they incorporated their business over there at 1 Rocket Road, Hawthorne, Texas, in Hawthorne, California. So SpaceX and Dogleg LLC like the same property. So SpaceX also has gathered around Dogleg LLC. But obviously, for some reason, maybe something underneath the concrete over here that the Park Service and maybe the state people and also the government see something here. Maybe there's something in nature that has gathered here after they built this structure, or maybe nature is speaking to us through, maybe it's in the air. I'm not sure where nature is telling us that something is going on here, but obviously this is a terrible structure, and we need to rip it down. Rip it down. Okay, everybody. That's it. That's just some hypothesis that I've gathered together. All right, everybody. All right. So send me an email if you have any more elaboration on what I just shared here. I was being inspired by nature, and we'll get on with what we're doing here. That puddle is speaking to me, actually. We need to save the puddle. All right. If you want me to represent nature some more, I'll do it again. Just let me know when. Let me know what nature's saying, and I'll kind of send the message. Yeah, Tony, it says it's a gas reserve underneath. Yeah, I heard some type of fracking out there in the ocean underneath the, and there are mineral rights in the area. So I believe maybe the government isn't interested in nature. Maybe the state parks aren't interested in nature. Maybe there's something to do with some oil. Aaron says, in an alternate universe, it would be a landfill. Wow. I've gained a million new subscribers. Awesome. I gotta go. When I disconnect, I'll check out the subscriber link. I wouldn't doubt it that I would have gained a lot of subscribers from the new content. Thank you, Dakeenan. I'm psyched. All right, everybody, good stuff. Oh, I got you. I gotta go screen. I gotta scroll back and get some of the more. I apologize everybody for the Nightbot. Looks like Nightbot was doing some activity there. All right, I'm caught up. Let me see. Kevin says, Paul, my question is, will they build a transport erector for Starship like F9 has? One way to ship to Kennedy Space Center. Yeah, I don't think they'll be shipping back and forth from here to Kennedy Space Center. These things are too big and they want to build too many of them. They're probably just going to build stuff over there. Or if they move to Florida, they will build them there. If you guys have any feedback on how I should change the Nightbot, let me know. I know it doesn't allow any cursing and stuff like that, and maybe excessive caps and other stuff like that. Let me know if you think I should do anything different about Nightbot, and I can go in and make the edits to make it nicer if you think it should be nicer. Dreonex says the SpaceX is an amazing company. I think even if they go to the South Pole, the FAA will always have jurisdiction over them. Yeah, I believe the FAA, I don't know if they're just a U.S. company, I mean U.S. aspect of the United States government, or yeah, even in the South Pole, I believe the different countries own different areas of the land. So maybe the FAA has jurisdiction over there too, right? Interesting. That's a good question. Does the FAA have any? Maybe somebody here has worked at the FAA or knows about the FAA regulations as far as the South Pole. Let us know. The real YT says the officials are money hungry. Yep, I got you. Obviously, I was in a higher state of mind. Yep, I got you. What you're saying, Dreonex. I'm always high, just naturally. You know, when you do enough meditation, then you can channel the spirit and channel nature, and nature talks to you. So nature talks to me sometimes, or all the time. Nature always talks to me. Everybody. Yeah, you could go somewhere to the equator too. He said in the Elon said in the chat that launching from the equator. I think somebody said it. Maybe it was another individual, not Elon, said that launching from the equator would save a lot of fuel due to the circumferential rotation at the equator that gives you faster and access to space. Tony says the only time we see the landscape is when you're at Padre Island. That's true. I show the beach and the ocean over there from South Padre Island. That's true. Thank you. Aaron. Yeah, this should be actually a big nature reserve, right? Let me think here. Stephen asks, are those pipes possible railroad for future transport of future ship? If so, it's what I told everybody would work best 2 to 3 years ago. Which pipes are you talking about, Stephen? I'm not sure which pipes you're talking about. Johnny Bio says, I can't watch with the sound because of the work. Awesome. Johnny, I'm just this is a chat that I do to chat with people and also show what's going on here. So this is a multi-dimensional stream here. Yeah, Kent says, why is a small village at the dish site? Over there at the satellite dish, here is a village here. Yeah, world water is fresh until Elon. Yeah, everything was good until Elon, right? Yeah. So yeah, they destacked the Starship yesterday, I believe it was. And today it looks like they moved the Starship from out. The Starship was between the chopsticks, and I don't see it as between the chopsticks anymore. So good night, Tony. Oh, you're not going anywhere yet. I got you. Enjoy the stream. Good stuff. Nightbot was here. Yep. You think Will Rogers would use the material? Nice. Good. We'll put a timestamp on there and let me know, and I will add the timestamp, and people can click ahead to hear that. One of the difficult things I have is I produce so much content that it really would maybe take somebody else to go in and put timestamps and do the descriptions a lot better. I could see the descriptions being done a lot better than I currently do. I currently put kind of generic info if I do anything in the description, and that type of info would really help people to skip through or skip ahead and find what kind of contact or topic. I sometimes speak on a variety of topics and even interview or chat with people who's passed by, and some more descriptive things in the video would help a lot of people, I believe. Frisbee asks, how does the Civil War Memorial site look right now? Is a flag up when you pass? So there is a fence that they put up recently in front of the Civil War Memorial site on the right as we're leaving the launch site here. And there is also further up about 15 miles or so, there is another Civil War thing as well, which that is an actual place where you can walk around. They have a platform, and it's a nicer area, but the one right here closer to the launch site, it has a fence in front of it. Real YT says, Tony says, there's a shed there which houses the old capped gas well. Interesting. Tony, is that here on site at the launch site, or is that over there at the build site? No, some says, too bad nature don't pay well. Yep. Oh, Ken said, Nightbot only gives me tension when I'm on the Lab Padre saying Ocean Cam is the best. Yeah, thanks, Ken. Yeah, I heard they outlawed the mentioning of Ocean Cam, and it says, yeah. Okay, Graham says FAA has jurisdiction over U.S. companies no matter where they operate from. Excellent, Graham. That is really good key information there. So Graham says, doesn't matter where in the world you are, the FAA has jurisdiction over all U.S. companies, no matter where they are. Frisbee, awesome. More swimming, huh? Good stuff. Aaron. Hey, Stephen, I'm not sure which... Oh, okay, the pipes we see here in front, I think maybe, Stephen, you're talking about these white pipes that we're seeing here. We got the big ones there. Those are apparently for methane. And then the smaller pipes to the right there are for unloading the methane from the trucks, the big trucks that come here. Aaron says, highly recommend for a winter resort, the Starship Resort at South Padre Island. Cool. Schlichterbahn Resort. I never heard about that one. Well, I was at the Isla Blanca Park over there. Schlichterbahn Resort. Interesting, Aaron. Interesting. If we meet up, you gotta show me that on a Google or something. On the I like to see where that is. Liam, awesome. Thank you, Kent. Nosum. Yeah, I've never heard the singing, Nosum, but sounds interesting. Sounds interesting. Some guys getting ready to go to work here. Steven says, I was talking about the black pipes that were dug underground. Well, the real YT says they did not treat him nice when he asked about which channels were showing the stacking other than those two channels. Interesting. Thanks for the feedback. Really good to hear. The real YT. I got some good videos of the stacking. As far as the destacking, my cameras the live stream didn't continue through these. I was positioned at this spot, but I lost the signal. I got to get a better. I got to get like one of those $200, $300 boosters for the signal for the cell phone for my truck. No, I've traveled the world. I've traveled the planet. I've even through my out-of-body experiences, I've traveled the universe already. I've experienced the entire universe. Became one with the universe in 2001. But I have traveled to over 50 countries, even probably closer to 100 countries here on the planet. So I would say I'm from everywhere, but I grew up on Long Island in New York, and I also traveled, I lived in Virginia for many years, on and off. I've also spent time in Hawaii for a year and a half one time, and I've been to Hawaii several times. But I've traveled to many countries. You saw the dome home. Yeah, that was. Yeah, I built that from a kit that I bought from Pacific Domes out there, maybe in Oregon. Pacific Domes. I bought that geodesic, half geodesic dome from them, and I lived. I got the certificate of occupancy in 2010, like in January, February timeframe after building it for a year. Bought the land in 2008, July. 2008, and then I sold it last January to not spend the next 20 years of my life doing the same thing I did for the last 20 years, and actually venture out and explore and experience something new. You liked it too, huh? Yeah, it was great. I planted over 60 fruit trees of many different variety, and had a good time over there. Yeah, I haven't done any updates on the garden recently, Graham. I was doing it every 2 weeks, but once the winter came through, I took once it started freezing over here, then the crops weren't really producing anything, and I enjoyed the winter. Still in the winter time frame, but if I'm still here at where I'm staying, which I believe that might occur, I might keep staying where I'm staying. It's a good location, close to the launch site, also within reach of Brownsville. Then maybe I'll put it in a larger garden this year. I don't know, we'll see. If they're excited about doing it over there at Makerspace X, MSX, then I've got plenty of seeds. Can plant a much bigger garden if we figure out where to do it, and start doing some of those videos again. Thanks, Frisbee. Thanks. One of the cool things about gardening over here in South Texas is that some of the other areas of the country are much are colder than here. So I believe there's over 300 growing days a year here. You can grow things for most of the year down in Texas. And if you have fruit trees and other stuff, theoretically, I believe recently when it froze last year, many of the citrus trees here in Texas died off. But if you have fruit trees, then just like in Florida, I believe the fruit trees, if you care for them in the right way and you put some mulch and everything like that, then they would grow faster than they might in a Virginia climate or some of the other climates. Especially since we're so close to the sea level here as well. And when you're up there in the cooler climates and trying to grow fruit trees and stuff, it can be more difficult. Whereas if you just start from scratch many years later, 10, 15 years later, you could still probably catch up when it comes to your fruit tree is producing fruit than if you were planted it 10, 15 years ago up there in the colder climates. Unless you have a nice greenhouse or you grow some things inside, then that's always good stuff. When I was up there in Virginia, I paid about $100 for a greenhouse plans, which I still have the DVD, which shows how to build like an awesome greenhouse in in a winter climate. So it is very possible. You got to dig about 15 feet down and put some ground geothermal heating and you put about 30 or more feet of pipe PVC into the ground, and then you can vent that into your greenhouse, and that can sustain the temperature comfortably in the greenhouse, in addition to some other things you can do to keep it warm, and then you can grow fruit trees year-round. I believe I bought that from somebody in the Midwest, those plans. So it is possible. I was thinking about doing it, but I just decided to have a different type of environment for the next 20 or so years of my life. Frisbee asks, where are people recommended to go near Starbase to be part of the community startup? I'm sure there's several different communities which I haven't really tapped into. There are also several other photographers here which are probably in a similar boat. So we have many separated people, and maybe we can link up more in the future. Smaller communities. SpaceX is kind of a new entity here, as far as they recently landed their Starship 15 here last year, and after that things started they started putting more money into the site due to the potential of success here in South Texas. They also recently won a military contract of $102 million, I believe it was, to do point-to-point transport for the military, And so that brought in some money as well. So you know, if this doesn't become possible for the SpaceX to launch here for the public, the one other avenue is if they were to just use their military contracts here to bypass the local regulations and the environmental review and turn this into a military launch site and continue that military point-to-point transport here on the Earth and really expand the launch capabilities of this site. So that is like an easement or another way around any potential shenanigans here by the local community or the distant community. Maybe some of the other launch companies, space companies, don't want SpaceX to succeed for whatever reason, or maybe some international partners want to slow down Elon Musk for whatever reason. And so if Elon wanted to pull a rabbit out of a hat, what he could do was say, hey, General, can we make this into a military location and give it priority access for launches into space? And the military could say, yes, Elon, that's a wonderful idea. Let's do it. And then Elon says to the general, hey, General, could you pay us more money than we would make off of commercial launches to launch out of this site? Would we be able to make more money since we're prioritizing the military mission here and make the United States launches into space the best in the world? And the military could say, yes, Elon, that's a wonderful idea. Let's make this a military location. We'll pay you more money than you could make by launching commercially out of this location. And then you can launch as many Starships out of here that you want to. And we would love to do a partnership with you. And Elon could say, that's wonderful. And then the Brownsville community would not get the money because all that money would go to service members, members of the military community, and this would be a very private location, secret with larger buildings. So either way, whether Elon moves to another location, whether Elon partners with the military, or maybe Elon is comfortable not making as much money as he could in the commercial sector. Maybe Elon would partnership with the military, but Elon apparently is here in the chat. Elon, all I can say is, you know, I was over there at the roadblock and I really wanted to come to the presentation here. And because I did not fill out the form in a timely manner, I did not find out about the form until the next day that I needed to fill out a form to attend the presentation here. But, you know, it would have been nice to be able to attend the presentation, but I did sign up, and so I am on the list for all future notifications of SpaceX events. And you know, I respect the rules. I respect the rules and everything, but if you wanted me to attend the presentation, all you had to do was stop one of the buses over there and say, hey, Paul, get in the van, get over here. You are allowed to come here. And you know, maybe, I know you had a lot of stuff on your mind that day, but keep me in your book for the next opportunity to grab me and take me to an interesting location so that we can show people what's happening here at SpaceX. So anyway, thanks for watching. If you ever need an assistant, I'd be happy to write things down for you and help get things in order. Even if you want a public relations individual, I'd be happy to see what kind of I was thinking about this. If you need someone to be the public face of with the community over here, or in some other way, maybe you need an assistant to write things down and stuff and help you collaborate and coordinate things. I have those skills, and I'd be happy to assist. Juan says Schlichterbahn used to be near Isla Blanca. The company closed down and the theme park got purchased by the country, so it's owned by a local in the RGV area. Okay, interesting. So the Schlichterbahn closed down, says Juan. Thanks, Juan. Awesome. Good stuff. Hey, Alan, just doing a live stream here, enjoying the scenery and communing with nature. Thanks, Frisbee. Tony, awesome. Tony says, thank you for the rockets, business, nature, and spiritualism. Enjoy your streams very much. Awesome. Yeah, 100%. Thank you. Thank you so much, Tony. Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate the appreciation. Thank you so much. Tony and everybody. Michael says Schlichterbahn was moved to Galveston, Texas. Media relations, huh? Steven says, with the Raptor 2 in development, would it be wise to do another SN5 hop to verify the stats of an SN5 flight to verify a Raptor 2 flight stats? Yeah, that's interesting, Steven. If they would do more smaller rocket hops to test out the Raptor 2, huh? Graham, I do live in Brownsville. I don't so much talk to a lot of people outside of what I do on a normal daily basis. I talk to people who know about the channel, and I talk to some neighbors when they're brought over there to the. Some people visit over there at Makerspace X, MSX, but I haven't really talked with a lot of local people. Ken says we want a spaceport is the thought. A lot of people are gathered here to build a transportation center to space, right? Good stuff. Frisbee says the best water park is Weeki Wachee. Freshwater and mermaids. Weeki Wachee. Cool, I never heard of that. Sounds interesting. Okay, Juan says the new name of what Schlichterbahn Beach Resort used to be is now called the Beach Park at Isla Blanca. Is that, Juan, is that Isla Blanca Beach Park? Is that the, you make a right and right there, that huge park, is that the old Schlichterbahn Beach Resort? Kent, good stuff. The truck's doing okay, Frisbee. I bought some brakes for today. I started the stream out speaking about that, but I've had some, I bought some brakes for the truck today. There was some squeaking over the last week, and I was able to get those brakes today. And also buy some, I bought some smoothie mix today using some of the funds that have been donated over the last couple weeks. Really, things are improving here, so I'll be able to pay my rent this month, and this next month in March. I'm doing work trade for my rent this month, but things might be heating up. Doing better. I'm doing better after the truck got fixed. I'm picking up some speed again with the help of everybody here, and inspiration. Inspiration is good. Michael says New Braunfels is where Schlichterbahn used to be. It has whitewater inner tubing. Okay, I heard there was some type of water park over there. Wow. I'm gonna showcase a jacket. I got it in the truck here. Just a moment. I'll be back in a moment. I got something slick that Mike Mason sent me. I'm gonna showcase that. Just a minute. All right, just a moment. All right, check out this jacket, everybody. This is a neat jacket that Mike sent me, and along with the shirt. But check that out, everybody. Really nice, kind of a SpaceX type of branded shirt. It's not made by SpaceX, but pretty nice warm jacket, slick. Thanks, Mike. Getting cold out here. Styling and profiling. One, yep. Yeah, everybody, Tom Tech. Frisbee. Tony. I'll wind it down in the next couple minutes here. We're getting some good lighting due to the sunset. Can start to see what we're looking at here. Yeah, I'm not sure how much they go for. One, good question. Yeah, I'm not sure where we're going. Elon is a very smart individual, and there's different levels of games. Okay, Juan, I will let you know if I find out. There's there's different levels of game, right? And Elon is on a different level of game. He is dialed into a different scene there, and he's got all types of people giving him information and strategy and everything else, and so I'm sure he is he's got a game plan for everything going on here. So you never know some of the plans that are in the works, and what seems like a delay might not be a delay. There's many levels of stuff going on. I gotta mute it. Okay, somebody had some music going on here. I had to mute the stream. Yeah, so I think we'll see how it turns out, everybody. We'll see how it turns out. I hope good things happen, because it'd be nice if things turn for the better for everybody, and that this could be a unique thing, at least in the beginning. Just give me a minute. All right, everybody. I'm going to wind it down. talk with you next time. There's some people are having fun, and I'm gonna continue on with the. I'm gonna go check out the remote camera. There is some music in the background, and I think it's a good time for me to go on too. So take care. Thank you for tuning in, and chat with you again. Signing out, everybody. Thank you so much.